I believe in the seven pillars of good living, and health and wealth are actually right at the top. Like you can't have a wealthy lifestyle if you don't have health, and then it encompasses all the other pillars as well. You know, spiritual, charity, social, career, your family. So it becomes the seventh pillar, and to me, it works hand in hand. You know, I always believe, like a lot of people, they are very successful in whatever they do, and then the excuse is that, or they found the right business, or the right venture, but it was because they were already in that position to have accomplished the seven pillars. So the best example is Andrew Forrest. His success came from the iron ore, but he could be doing any other business and he would still be successful. I think it's both. Like I speak to a lot of people my age in their 60s, and they keep saying, it doesn't matter now, I'm old. So it doesn't matter what I eat or if I don't exercise. I've already got grandkids, I've retired. But how wrong could that be? That a person have to, in my opinion anyway, have to be looking after their health regardless of age. In fact, when you're older, you should be taking care of your health even more, because the body parts are getting older and getting worn out. So when I see a lot of unhealthy people when they're older, and they say it doesn't matter now because I can continue to have this bad lifestyle, the diet or the exercise, which a lot of them are not doing, that actually contribute to their bad health. Like if you go to the hospital, you see a lot of these old folks, all in all sorts of pain and ailments, and that shouldn't be the case. If you look after your health properly, you should be able to, right into your 70s or 80s, have minimum medication, and you don't need to take up the hospital space. So that is my understanding anyway. It doesn't matter what my profession is, and anyone who want to be good in their industry, could be a surgeon, could be even a tradesman, they need to keep up their health. And then for me, I've got a very simple philosophy which I learned from Jackie Chan. In his 60s, he's still doing stunt work. Do you believe? Whatever your diet has been, like if you're eating too much carbohydrate, or you are eating too much, you need to continue, because you can't just change your diet overnight and not suffer for it. So back to myself, I exercise like every day. Nighttime, I do it nighttime. So I have 20 minutes of swimming, and then 20 minutes of walking, and 20 minutes of cycling without fail. It's quite easy. It's only 60 minutes a day, but continuously, and I've been doing that for the last 25 years. Yeah, mental health is a big thing. I'm not obviously a doctor or specialist in that area, and I find that I've studied many countries, and I think with our society the way it's going, it's not healthy, because I don't know why the mental health is like it's so serious, or it's gone really down into a serious category. And I speak to a lot of people, especially in very backward country, and then I find that surprisingly their mental health is quite healthy, even though they have nothing. So what I'm trying to compare is the mental health is actually created by our modern society. No, we want to be always better than, always striving to be better, to be the best. And then if we fall short, then we have like a mental depression, which it doesn't make sense, you know. Like, give you an example, you know, like one lady, she's always suffering from mental depression, and I think she shared it in the book that, you know, it was created by her parents. She was very good in piano, so the mother says, if you're so good, why aren't you the champion in the school? And then she got that, and then the mother says, why can't you be the best in the city? And then she was constantly lacking. So she said, I admit I've got, so it's never good enough. And I think that is a very simplistic way of explaining. It only happens in modern society, I observe anyway. And if you go to very poor countries, I mean, they got problems, don't get me wrong, they got problems like hunger and all that, but they don't have a lot of mental depression. Yeah, because I give the same example all the time, you know, when I speak to somebody asking me this question, you know, like Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, you know, he made 60 billion before he was 30 years old, you know. So when we compare, anyone comparing themselves to him will be a failure. So a lot of the young people are aspiring, you know, to be the next Zuckerberg, but they've fall way short. And then, don't get me wrong, I'm not jealous of their success, but the amount of accumulation of wealth is just astronomical. Like, if you look at Jeff Bezos, Amazon founder, his wealth has hit 200 billion, and he will be a trillionaire very soon, you know. So everyone who is not at that or at that category will find that they are really shortchanged. I think the very ignored sector which we can get help from is family and friends. You know. Remember on television it says, you know, are you all right, mate? You know, and we have to ask for help. And then the family is very important. But if you look at people who are not well, you know that the family relationship, most of them have broken down. You look at the homeless. You don't tell me, oh, I got a very loving family, that's why I'm sleeping in the street. You know, so it's very unlikely. So if you look at in many Asian cultures, you don't find, even poor Asian countries, you don't find a lot of homeless people. And the reason is the family won't let that happen. You know, like my kids, you know, if even though we have quarrels or whatever, we got to make sure that they don't end up, you know, we not knowing where they are or ended up homeless, sleeping in the street. So that is the family support, which I think leads to the other thing you were asking. The family breakdown also leads to the mental health as well.